Fed need to act forthrightly and aggressively to rein in inflation. Bullard says the Federal Reserve should act boldly in raising U.S. hobby rates, which will incorporate inflation earlier than higher expectations emerge as entrenched, St. Louis Fed President James Bullard stated on Friday. We ought to act forthrightly and aggressively to get inflation to turn around and get it below control, or you may suffer a decade of excessive and variable inflation, Bullard said during a panel discussion on primary banks and inflation hosted by UBS in Zurich, Switzerland. So front-load these days, get inflation under manage in short order and get inflation returned on a direction to 2%, Bullard introduced. Last week, the Fed raised its benchmark in a single-day hobby charge with the aid of 0.75 percentage point, its biggest hike due to the fact that 1994 to a number of 1.50% to 1.75%, and signaled its coverage price would upward push to 3.4% by the cease of this year. Bullard has previously stated he desires to see the Fed's coverage price boom to 3.5% by way of the quit of 2022, a point he repeated on Friday. Once borrowing fees rise high enough to place downward strain on inflation and disinflationary forces take preserve, the relevant financial institution could likely start off to cut fees, he mentioned. The St. Louis Fed leader also downplayed the chance of recession, pronouncing that price increases will probably slow the economic system to a fashion tempo of boom, as opposed to beneath fashion. This is the early levels of a U.S. expansion. Until we get hit via a chunk shock or something, it'd be unusual to head lower back into recession at this stage, Bullard mentioned. On Thursday, Fed Chair Jerome Powell told lawmakers the imperative financial institutions' dedication to reining in inflation, that's jogging at a 40-year excessive, is unconditional.